Hey, dosers. Happy New Year. I missed you guys so much. Tone just reminded me I have an applause button. As you can see, it's me and only me today. I'm giving you the real, hostess with the mostest vibes. Tone's gonna pop in and do all of that good stuff. Hopefully. He's telling me he might, but he will for sure. I missed you guys so much. You guys feel free to talk back to me in the comments for those of you who are listening later. I love you guys for rocking with me, dosers. You guys are amazing. I love y'all. Come to the social media pages. Check me out. Send me inboxes. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Talk to me. I talk back. I promise. So, Tone, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was cool. What did I do? Oh, I actually did the family thing this year. I spent time with the girls and their mom's side of the family
Aw.
for actually 2 days because my birthday was the week before,
I did not know.
and
Nobody tells me anything.
I got really messed up with the crew.
Oh,
So,
oh.
but it worked out because it was at the ugly sweater party. So
So you had a good time, basically.
I had a great time. We'll talk about
Good.
that later.
We'll talk about it later. Cool.
It's not
cool,
this.
cool.
I'm not doing that with you here on air.
Wow.
You will
That
not-
means he had a real good time, y'all.
You will not know my shenanigans on air.
Well, I would like to hear about your shenanigans on the air, and I'm sure my listeners would as well. But we're not going to force it out of you. Not today.
Not this week.
Not this week.
Not this week.
So, you guys, I have a pretty good topic. I promise you, I'm not going to keep you here for a long time, just a good time, because y'all already know how we do. So, my topic for today is, so y'all don't be kissing or nothing? Tone, people really don't be out here kissing people.
So I've noticed.
Yeah, it's a little weird to me.
I don't know why. Like, it's to the point right now where, and I said this before we started, y'all want y'all asses ate, but you won't kiss the person who eats your ass. I'm not even talking about afterwards. I'm just talking in general.
I mean, people are out here having raw sex,
Just
eating
raw.
booty.
Eating booty.
You know what I'm saying? Doing everything and
Putting
don't
all
want to
kind of
kiss.
things
Y'all
in
don't
their
want to
mouths.
kiss.
I want to kiss.
I like kissing. I be kissing.
Do you be kissing, or do you like
I be kissing.
engulf the individual with your love mouth?
I am very much like, when I get an equally compatible person as far as kissing, like I'm very like that 365 movie kissing. Like
Right.
I'm very much that, like, oh, this is what you want to do right here, kiss.
And you know what's funny? Kissing is my actual turn on. Kissing is my turn on. Like, I could just be minding my business, don't even think twice about you.
Hey,
You
y'all.
kiss me, we start making out. Next thing you know it, let's go.
I love kissing.
You get round 3s and 4s out of me from just kissing alone. No, I'm dead ass serious. You know how most dudes tap out? We get to making out. Come on, we got one more with us.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like people lack intimacy.
People
And I
don't
think
know
that
what intimacy is.
they don't. And I want to know, like, where did that leave? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what age did y'all stop? Like, didn't nobody teach y'all how to kiss when y'all was younger? Is that a foreign concept to y'all?
Not the people who's supposed to be teaching them how to kiss. Let's start there.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Bria says she hates kissing.
See?
How,
Why?
Bria?
Don't say how. Say why.
Yeah, why?
Why?
Tell me why, Bria. Tell me why you hate kissing. What about it don't you like?
But while she's getting her answer out, I think when sex became easy, intimacy became optional.
That part.
That, to sum it up in a nutshell, when it is easier for us to just say, hey, let's go back to my place and I can, rearrange your guts. You don't care about the other stuff.
But I feel like that's a part of sex.
It should be, but we don't see it though.
Okay, so this is my thing. And maybe it's a little deeper than just kissing.
It is deeper.
It's a little deeper than just
It's
kissing.
really intimacy that's
so
missing.
Yeah, it's intimacy. So my thing is, I don't believe in sexual intercourse without foreplay.
This a generation, well, I would say probably maybe your generation on back can do without.
I don't like that.
This is why you're not
gonna rev this engine up before you try to start the car.
The way they okay. I hate to say this because I might get kicked out the next couple of men meetings, but men don't care about y'all getting y'alls.
We know. We've
Wa-
noticed.
Once we get it up,
We know for sure.
once we get it up,
We be like,
they just want you to get it on.
bitch.
You're supposed to add your own part after that.
um,
Okay. But we don't
right,
care.
Michelle. In peace. Peace, King. It's good to see you. I'm listening.
Oh, what they say.
No, my wife, she's my wife. I just let my friend borrow her. I let her husband
Oh.
borrow her,
Okay.
but she's my wife. She said, "Hey man, get me in the mood or no, I'm good." It's that part. I feel as though people lost the connection part of that relationship. Like, even if it's not sex, even if it's just like being intimate, even if it's just showing affection, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't kiss?
Well,
Like, no kiss?
let's start here. What's your definition of intimacy?
Intimacy can be several things. It doesn't just have to be like kissing or touching or rubbing or anything like that. Intimacy could just be reading a book together. Intimacy could be talking to each other in a certain capacity. Intimacy is just a intimate moment that you create between two people.
Okay.
Me personally, I'm a kisser. I'm naturally, my love language is physical touch. I am a kisser. I am a hugger. I am a rubber. Like, I rub your back. And I mean, not even sexually. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, yeah, it's just a natural thing. Like, and if we take sex out of it, the lack of intimacy, like, you just suck. Like, you know what I'm saying? What do you do?
I think that's the thing. I noticed that this lately, a lot of people have been enjoying their me times. Okay. And I'm not talking sexual me time since the rose, hit the scene, but just overall, a lot of people, a lot of women are okay with just being by themselves.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on Bria to say why she don't like kissing.
Because she just don't like. She probably kissed the wrong.
And my wife said, "Don't allow it to be on the men. Women need to do their part as well. It's not all on him. I'm a kisser as well. It's not all on men. It's not all as well. However, when women want it, we know exactly what to do to get you guys in the mood because it don't take much."
I was going to say that.
Yeah, like it takes a lot more for a woman to be ready and be in the mood or to feel like we're being intimate, even if it's not sexual. It takes a lot more for us to be, stimulated intimately or any of that. But
are we expressing that? Well, let me rephrase that. Is this information being expressed? What I mean by that is this guy looks good. He gives you everything that gets your engine running before he even touches you. Okay. Mm-hmm. You decide, you say, you know what? I'm gonna crack his taco tonight. Okay.
I'm gonna crack his taco.
I'm gonna crack his tonight.
I'm gonna give him this.
So you plan on taking him home. Then you get there and it's like he doesn't do much in the foreplay area, but because you was already there, you didn't care about it. Mm-hmm. You got on top of it. B+.
And my thing is sometimes and then, it be like that.
Yeah, it do be like that. But then when you come to find out, now here's the next time, not round 2, but the next time, and he's still not getting you there. The first time it was all you. You were ready. He just happened to be the meat that needed to be used that day. Mm-hmm. But the next time it's like, oh, I don't have to do much. I'm not going to do much. Do you convey that?
Oh, me personally or women?
You. Let's start
me
with
personally,
you and then
of course. If we're doing this again, like I'm gonna let you know. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna lie to you. The first time, like I might be like, "Hey, I got this today." But if we're doing this again, that means we've been in communication. That means we've been texting. We've been communicating. That means by now I ask people out the gate, like, "What's your love language?" And then I express mine. So yes, this has been a conversation. Okay. So I'm very open because I know what it's like to be in a person who doesn't understand your love language. And it's hard for you to feel loved when a person doesn't understand your love language. And it's not just sexually, it's just people crave intimacy. Like women, and I don't know, I'm not gonna speak for all women, I'm gonna say me. I crave intimacy. Like I like to feel like my person loves me and I love my person.
I love you, you love me.
Wow, you're good? Are you good? My wife said, "What's that women love language? You need to know that, or maybe I'm only speaking from a marriage standpoint versus dating or one night stands or that side nigga or that sneaky link. But there are rules based off your relationship." It is. However, comma, I don't care what we doing at that moment. I don't care if we are a sneaky link or whatever. Like, if it gets to the point where we're in the bed together or we're in an intimate setting together, whether it's sexual or non-sexual, you need to learn how to be intimate. Like, I hate that. Like, I hate like gambling 50-50 when you dating somebody and you start liking them and you realize, dog, they really might not know how to be intimate or they might not know how to have sex. Like,
True.
sex is more than just strokes. Like, sex is an experience.
It
Like,
is,
you
and
know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think
And it
people look at it
starts
like that.
before the actual physical sexual encounter. Like, it's a mind thing, it's a whole atmosphere thing, it's everything. So when people don't know how to kiss, that hurts me off of you. I don't even like you no more. You don't know how to kiss? I feel like you wasn't raised right. I feel like,
You said they wasn't
yeah, you
raised.
wasn't raised right. So I feel like you don't wash your greens before you cook them.
Oh my.
That's how I feel. I feel like you like slimy stuff.
They usually do. They
Mm-mm.
usually do. But also, I think a lot of individuals never had that necessary conversation.
Yeah.
You know, not even, and I know we sit here and we crack jokes about the fact that the birds and the bees conversation is not had anymore because most of the times when we try to have that with our parents when we were younger, we were already fucking anyway. So it was not necessary. But I think we need to go back to having that conversations. We need to have more open dialogue with the people we're with,
Yeah.
as
I
well as
just
regular.
started talking to my mama about stuff
Right,
like
and I'm
that.
saying, and I think that's the problem. So when we're like, I have 2 daughters.
Mhm.
Okay, I know I got to have a conversation with them because niggas ain't shit now. So just imagine what they gonna be
Before they be trying to learn off of.
right in the next 6 years. Because my oldest is not. So that means at 15, she's in high school, and there's gonna be some raggedy ass boy feeding her some bullshit.
I'm not gonna hold you. It won't be until 15. You
It'll
need to
probably
have the
it's
talk
probably
to
happening
her
now.
about 10. Yeah.
Right, it's probably happening now. But it's just a simple fact that I think that a lot of us was okay with not having those conversations or very nervous to have those conversations, that we ended up winging it. Now we got a mixed up viewpoint of what relationships look like
Mhm.
because there's so many relationships built on trauma bonds and not actual love.
Man.
Okay,
I don't, I think I had a trauma bond relationship.
everybody's had at least one trauma
However,
bond.
I didn't even know I had trauma. It was news to me. I was like, I ain't even I come from a nice, good. I have outside people trauma. Like, I don't have childhood trauma. I don't
Right.
have like in-house trauma. Like, I don't have any of those. Like, I have absolutely nothing negative to say about my family dynamic.
But you got to remember, trauma bond doesn't have to be from the household.
I know, and
A lot of-
I naturally always relate trauma bonding to like
childhood stuff.
childhood trauma.
Right. Trauma bonds could just be the simple fact that you haven't fully healed from that last relationship.
Yeah.
And the simple fact that the individual that you're now gravitating towards is either identical to the last relationship or 180%, 180 degrees different than the individual you're with. So you're with this person because they're nothing like that person, but you haven't learned anything about this person. You just don't have the traits that my baby daddy or my baby mama has. So you're perfect for me.
So you're perfect for me.
But at the end of the day,
And you know what's crazy?
it's opposite.
Sometimes the people who give us our trauma doesn't even like, how do I say it? Sometimes the trauma that we develop from a relationship is not from the person that we
It's
were
not.
in a relationship with. It's from what we make it.
Right.
I know this about to be random and off task.
Yeah, we've
but
been kind of left and right and back and forth.
I mean,
so
it's
far.
all related, but I'm
Right.
about to say, but this next part I'm about to say, it was a song that somebody was singing on New Year's Eve at a night I was singing at, and it was saying like, sorry for what I made it to be. Not what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
write that down. That's a topic.
That's a topic.
That's a
You know what I'm
topic.
saying? Like, sorry for what I made it to be. Sometimes it's not what you think it is.
Right.
Sometimes your perception is your reality, but your perception isn't the reality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Prime example. The concept of what social media projects should be happening in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
compared to what your actual relationship is doing.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you seen or heard the conversation where a girl randomly decided to go on her man's phone looking for a problem when he was doing nothing at all, simply because you seen or heard something on a social media site that made you think otherwise?
Now, that's a two-part fold. because sometimes it can work both ways.
It
Like
could.
you can really be naive because you think that your man ain't doing nothing because he's not doing the extent of what everybody else is doing. So now you like, my man don't do nothing and your man doing everything under the sun. He's just real slick about it. Or he could really not be doing nothing and now you've been listening. And that's why I'm very particular about the music that I listen to
Because
when
it
I'm in a
triggers you.
relationship, because it will alter your mood. Like, and I know I say this, and this all links back to intimacy. Like, y'all don't play music, y'all don't do nothing.
Uh, I'm
You
glad-
trying to sleep with me to Tupac? I don't want to.
I'm glad. Let's not to deter too much. Music ain't the same either. Music is not as intimate as it used to be either.
That's not true. Mainstream music
Oh,
is not as
I
intimate.
give you that.
Yeah.
What you could turn on the radio and listen to, or what you may find, like you say, mainstream, is all about fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Just all about fucking. Okay. You got niggas out here swearing up and down they invented sex. Okay.
Girl, you gonna think. Girl, you gonna think.
Right.
Girl,
Meanwhile, your granddaddy's music is for the love of you.
and like, you're absolutely correct.
Because
And
they were
like,
out there
even-
floating on the memory. So
but
they were thinking
even-
about the pussy, but making you feel
even
like
the
this is the
old
greatest.
songs that were solely about sex, they approached sex
They
in a
approached-
more tactful manner.
Right. It was more secretive. It was more. It felt more.
It
intimate.
felt more intimate, even though they was being raunchy.
They
like,
was out here.
Yeah, they was out here. Like,
Then Clarence Carter came out here and just talked about stroking, and then the music ain't been the same since.
I mean, even that song wasn't as bad as like, "Throw Baby." I want to get to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a difference. And even with music, like, you can set your whole tone. Like, when I'm in a relationship, I really try not to listen to "I Hate You" or "These Men Ain't Shit" type of music, because that would permeate your spirit, and I just do not have the time.
We do not want y'all to just hate us out the door.
Out the door.
And I think that's what a lot of people do. Another
I want to
reason
be in love singing "Yours, Mine, Ours." What that grandma say? "I can do this for hours." I want to sing it like the grandma.
you got to sing it like the grandma. Like, I think that's why everybody's tired of it, because if you don't sing it like an old church lady who may or
I
may not
wanna
be on the
give
usher board,
you
it's not
your
worth it.
flowers. It's just one of those things where I think that's kind of where I'm at. I think that's why I'm so put off with people right now. Like, I am so put off. I am a natural lover. Like, I love my friends. Me and my friends say I love you all the time.
As you should.
Yeah, like, I'm just a natural lover, and I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who don't know how to express their love. But nowadays, it seems like men as a whole, like, they don't know how to express love. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll give you.
and I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not the teacher.
No. And I get that. Like, we as men, we get to an age where you're like, you technically, nigga, you just need to know what you like and don't like, right? But
Hold on. And side note, today's broadcast is brought to you by Stella Black, because I'm feeling kind of sexy.
and she is sexy though.
And
I
I
don't-
am, and
I
I'm
don't, I don't know where the feeling part is, as you can see here on the visual for those of you who are watching on YouTube.
I'm saying your name, love, right? Andron is saying, "What if you're not a kisser?" If you're not a kisser, that's fine, but you should find other ways to be intimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a kisser, so that's my thing for me. But if you're not a kisser, like, do you hold hands? Like, are you just not affectionate at all? Like, can you give me a something?
My thing is, for those who are not kissers, what is your replacement to show your affection?
That part, Michelle. Michelle said, right. But I listen to more men rapper than women, because I can't listen to Men Ain't Shit all day in music from women. That's right. I can't either.
I hate to say that a lot of women's music is either Men Ain't Shit or I got the best pussy this side of the Mississippi.
They be like, "Down in the valley where the girls get naked."
That's a different story. That's a work song.
And thank you.
That's a work anthem.
It is a work anthem.
That's a work anthem.
I'm just waiting for Andron to reply, because I really want to know, like, if you're not a kisser, what exactly do you like to do? And if you're not affectionate at all, like, how do you deal with somebody who is affectionate? Like, I was in a relationship with somebody who was not necessarily.
They usually say it's too much. They doing too much. I've seen people break up in relationships because they have a person who love language is physical touch, and they are very intimate, and they feel smothered.
See, and I've had 2 relationships where that person wasn't necessarily affectionate as me, and physical touch was not their love language. I had one where he didn't even believe in love languages. Behooved me. I was like, so you don't know how you want to be loved, basically, is what you're telling me. John said, people ain't kissing because they ain't in love.
You know what?
And you know what?
That might be
this comment right here
2.
that say shut up wench. You know who that is, right? The only person that called me a wench. Nazir. Quentin. He calls me a wench. I will be a
he's
kisser.
a black Napoleon, so that means.
Andron said, "Now I will be a kisser if it was that right person that doesn't force it." I'm not even saying that it has to be an all the time thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I am a very, and maybe it's just me. I am very biased. John said, "Now put him on prayer request because of his haircut." Y'all go look at my friend, John Stanford on Facebook. He got his haircut today, and he think he looking mighty fine. Okay, the boy do look sharp. The boy do look knife sharp. He do look sharp. But anywho, back to the subject at hand. I was saying that I've been with a person who didn't believe in love languages, and I've been with another person who physical touch was not theirs, or affection was not theirs. Both of them were like, I don't mind you being affectionate. Like me being how I am with them, they didn't mind. Like they didn't feel like I was smothering them. They didn't feel like it was too much. They were like, I just don't know how to express it myself. But when you do it, I'm okay with it. I like it.
So how did you handle dealing with them not reciprocating in the way that you made?
See, what people fail to realize is whether you are affectionate or not, after a certain amount of time with somebody who is affectionate, you start picking up on things that you don't even know you do.
Yeah,
so like the last person that I was with who didn't believe in love languages, the second of the two, he would say things that'd be like, "Oh, you love me in real life." You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't the physical touch that I necessarily wanted,
right?
But it was his way of doing it. And once you learn your person, and you know that it's not their thing, you learn not to look for it, and you don't be disappointed by it. If you never have that conversation, you sit and just feel unloved and disappointed.
Punch him.
Not punch him. My wife said, "Do you think this can be taught?"
Yes and no.
I was about to say yes and no. Yes and no. I think that if a person just doesn't know how to express love or doesn't know what to do because they've never been loved properly or they've never been shown, absolutely. If it's somebody who knows what it is and they just don't like it, no, because you can't force somebody to like something that they don't like. Like,
right. Can't love what you don't like.
Andron said, speaking as a heterosexual man, my wife said, "Do you think this can be taught? Yes or no?" Again, like I just said, it depends on the situation. If it's a person who has never experienced it, who is seeking out how to do it, absolutely. If it's somebody who doesn't believe in it, doesn't like it, and don't want to be a part of that type of lifestyle, absolutely not. Because I'm not going to force you to do things to make me feel like I'm loved. And I just feel like in a relationship, if you love that person, and now this is in a relationship because everybody doesn't have to be in a relationship to be intimate. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you love that person, you would want to convey your love to that person. And once you know what that person loves,
you said the wrong name.
No, I didn't.
Because Andron said that wasn't me who said that.
It says speaking as a heterosexual man. You see it?
All right, never mind. I'm somewhere else. Keep going.
Oh. Oh no, so I'm just, it just depends. But when you love somebody, you learn what they like. Like I don't believe that grandma and granddad that stayed together for 50 years immediately knew off top. You know what I'm saying, what each other liked.
No.
They learned it and then they did what they could to ensure that they were conveying it.
Right.
Granddaddy had a whole nother wife on the other side of town, but was still had grandma at home, bills paid, loving on her. And we've said this on season 2 in the doses with the Boom Boom Room. Like,
but what people tend to forget about grandma and grandpa was in order for grandma to even become wife, granddad had to work to get her, which include learning what she likes, knowing what
That's
she
not true.
No, some of them they did.
Some of them did, but all of them no. I think when I think of grandparents, I think of my grandparents, and my grandparents are my mother is probably the age of most of the people my age,
Right.
grandmother. So my grandmother, you know what I'm saying, is like real old school. Like, baby, you don't work, you find you a husband and you settle down, and that man is a good man because he working and he taking care of you. Now my grandmother, from what my mom and them said, my granddaddy passed away before I was born.
Right.
But from what my mom and them said, she had been married before, and my older uncles had a different biological father than like my mom and my younger uncles. However, my grandfather raised all of them, and my grandma did not put up with nothing from no man. So she wasn't necessarily one of those ones who just settled for everything. She left a Negro alone. I think that's where I get it from.
Could be.
It's that Ethel Lee in me.
That's definitely a grandma name.
That's my grandma name, Ethel Lee.
Ethel
Lee.
Ethel Lee.
And so,
Arzenia made Charles work.
Oh,
okay.
Arzenia. She was Africa.
No.
She wasn't African? Puerto Rican?
Tylertown, Mississippi.
I mean, her ancestry had to be. She had to come from Africa. How old was she?
When my grandma passed, she was like 60.
And when was that?
Ooh, this is before the turn of the century.
Yeah, see, her mama and them, they knew slaves real good.
Oh, I think
real good.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think my granddad was like the first free man in the family. So, like, born of non-slavery. So I actually think my grandparents' parents were slaves.
Yeah, my uncles and them picked cotton for sure.
Because I know for a fact my granddad was still a sharecropper.
my daddy was born on a sharecropper plantation as well in Platteville, Mississippi.
I got stories for you on how this nigga used to wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
Let's not.
At the age of 7 out here slanging at Fondy's food market with him. So, but he made me a hustler.
He made you a hustler. But you get what I'm saying. Grandma and granddad, they had a different type of lifestyle. Like, I think half of the problem is women aren't intimate either, a lot of them, because they feel as though they got the city girl mentality.
Right. And I think because the city girl mentality makes the world fun. Look at
what's fun about that. It's too much work.
No, and I believe you.
It's too much work to not care.
It is to me. But
everybody ain't unbothered all the time.
You know what it is? Let me rephrase that. I think that they're in love with that one person. And because that one person didn't reciprocate the love that they wanted in the way they wanted it, they
just kind of turned it off.
Yeah, they kind of turned it off.
Andron said, in the communication process, did you believe that you were willing to understand man's so-called
toxicity?
How did I lost my spot? To understand man's so-called toxicity, communication based on social norms. Y'all, this wine got me slurring a little
bit. Okay, in the community process,
communication got you. You even had none.
In the communication process,
I've already read it now.
Did you believe that you were willing to understand man's so-called toxicity communications based on social norms? I had to read it just to make sure what you said.
To make sure I read it right. I read it right.
No, to make sure I understand what you read. That's why I just happened to say it out loud instead of in my head.
I think all of us are a little toxic in our own ways.
I think we are too, but I think that there's those people who they were born in toxicity, and those are other ones that feed on the toxicity.
Yeah, I definitely think I've dated a few like future type niggas, and it was because like I really loved them that I kind of dealt with some stuff. Like, now don't get me wrong, I'm never a little baby that just sit back and be listening. Now, if you come with me with some toxic shit, I'm gonna meet you with some toxic shit.
Also, I think sometimes we may misinterpret toxic as toxic. Prime example.
Sugar is toxic. So sometimes stuff is real sweet, but it's toxic.
Ooh, look at you. That's why we can't eat so much sugar.
You know what I'm saying? Literally, granulated sugar is toxic. It's toxic for you. It's sweet. You like it. It makes stuff taste good. We like a lot of it. We like large amounts of it. However, it's very toxic for us. And sometimes that can be the same as love from people or attention from people or
Right.
affection from people. But I feel as though the lack of intimacy contributes to that. Like sometimes we are so settled with the half that people give us that we don't even realize that it's so much more, so much of a deeper connection that could be had.
That goes back to the predisposition that people are not taught how to love. So you don't understand that you only getting half. You're not, this individual is doing just enough. And because that just enough is more than what you had before, you're content with it.
But some people like me, I was raised in love. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like love, love, love. My family is all in love. Like all of that. Like I was raised in love.
I was raised in love, but the way it looked is not the way I wanted it. Make sense? Like I had a mom.
Elaborate.
So I had a mom that worked hard.
Uh-huh.
She provided. She gave me anything I needed, everything I needed, and she did all of it out of love. Not because she didn't want to be perceived as a bad parent, but she did it because
that was her nurturing. She felt like her love for her child.
And that was her love language.
Acts of service.
Yeah, gift giving and acts of services has always been my mom's love language. I'm a physical touch and a quality time kind of a person. Meaning I want you to be there and do stuff with me. So because my mom was never the person who always was there when I needed some attention from her, doesn't mean that she didn't still love me. So now I don't look at gift giving as a love language to me. I don't look at gift giving as like, okay, I was out today, I picked me up a pair of Air Force Ones, got you a pair too because you like them. Hey, they was actually dipped in pink. But to somebody else, that may be a great thing, but to me, it's like, just a pair of shoes. I don't think twice about it.
And so I think I'm a unicorn. I don't know if this is normal. I believe that every love language is a love language of mine. I just think they rank differently.
That's actually how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
People tend to hone in on the top one or the top two, but at the end of the day, all 5 of them matter.
All 5 of them matter to me. I appreciate all 5 of them, but I do have my top 2, 3. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I had to choose, I would rather you never buy me a thing as long as like quality time and physical touch and words of affirmation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like acts of service, it's cool, but if I need something done, it's a million people who can do it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not my thing. I love it and I appreciate you even more. And I know that sometimes that's an expression of love from other people and I do appreciate it. But even if you're buying me everything, if you're doing everything that I need you to do, and then like you never talk to me or you never tell me that you love me and you never just want to like put your hand on my thigh or while we in the car, you don't want to put your hand around me. You don't want to put your hand around my waist. You don't grab my butt sometime. Like it don't matter to me. I'm gonna feel like you're not interested.
Oh, they're interested. They're interested.
They're interested.
They're interested.
Sometimes just enough is just enough when you don't love yourself. You're right. And sometimes the bare minimum is the maximum to somebody because they don't know no better. Exactly. And I do hate that for people. I hate that for you. I do. I wish that I could just tell everybody that they're worth more than that. But to be honest, I'm not gonna hold you. Some of y'all, I feel like y'all ain't.
Do you feel that the lack of self-love plays a factor in the lack of intimacy?
What do you mean?
Like we said, if you don't love yourself enough, you can't really give love to somebody else properly, right? So you may be doing bare minimum. Now, someone like you know what you want, you know how to be loved, and you can reciprocate it 10 times.
So are you asking, do I think that it's always hand in hand or do I think that one can lead to the other? I think that one can lead to the other. I don't think that it's always contingent upon that. I believe that some people don't show love because they know how to love. They just don't love you. Or
there's a lot of people that don't love people that they with.
Yeah. And they just with them for
conveniency or sexual gratification.
And even if we completely 100% remove sex, because intimacy is not just a sexual thing. If we 100% remove sex from it and we just talk about intimacy, like people, I think genuinely don't understand what the purpose of intimacy is. I think that some people don't see the goal in intimacy, so they don't take time to express it. I feel like sex is very objective driven. When you have sex, you know what the end goal is.
To bust a nut.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm here to do this and this is how I'm gonna do it. I got 8 positions that I'm gonna fold you into, and this is just what it is. But when it comes to intimacy, it takes a little more effort. It takes a little more understanding. It takes a little more knowledge. Like, it takes you to learn that person more. It takes a lot more than what it is to just have sex.
Are you an Escape song?
Am I? Ooh, who can I run to? I could be. Um, I could be, but I just feel like that's what it is. I feel like people shortcut relations, and I'm not talking about relationships. They shortcut relations, like even just intimate conversation, even just quality time, walks at the park. They shortcut dates. They shortcut things like that because they don't see the benefit of it. They don't see the end goal in it.
Do you think the social climate affects that?
Absolutely.
Like people
Absolutely.
don't go on small cheap dates because it's considered a cheap date.
Yeah, because when you get on social media and you see people talking about some oh, he want to take me here, he want to take me here. Like, if you ain't got no money, just say that. It don't even have to be that. It could be this person. I don't care. Listen, the richest man in the world could take me for a walk in the park and we can grab tacos from a taco truck and it would be the effort for me.
I think people tend to forget the richest person doesn't like to spend money
because they know how to maintain it.
They know how to. So
being flashy and doing all that extra stuff is a broke man's game.
It is actually a broke.
So you're gonna forever. Oh, I need to text somebody this. I know somebody. You're gonna forever chase money because you like to spend it.
Exactly. And jobs get you.
And don't get me wrong, I like to spend money too. I will pay what I weigh for stuff that I like. Point blank. Period. However,
I had to tell my team that.
However, I'm not one of those designer people where I gotta have everything designer. I'm not one of those people. I spend my most money on food in my house.
I spend a lot of money on food too.
I will catch a flight for a meal. Okay. I will go on a world tour to visit restaurants. That's why I'm chunky now.
I'm just chunky because I like to eat what's nearby.
It don't matter what it is. It could be here. I'm gonna eat it. That's what you just said.
Because I like the same thing. Like, the reason why I bring that up is my team, my new team that I'm a part of. A lot of them are under 30. Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm over 40. So that 10-year gap.
Andron said that part, King. Good question. Be present.
Right. That 10-year gap is a huge difference in our mentality. So in the beginning, when you start a new job, people always want to run out, go see what's eating in the area, spend buku money. And it was like, yeah, that's cool and whatnot. I'm not going to go to those places with you. But yet throughout the week, I would buy food for the whole team, or I would get donuts for everybody, or get coffee and stuff like that. Or if I wanted to go to Pepper Potts, because it's right down the streets now, I'll go to Pepper Potts 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, because I like what I like. And they're like, well, why do you eating that? Ain't that going to be a problem? It's like, I eat what I want to eat because that's what I like. Okay. I spend my money the way I want to spend my money because it's my money. Now, are my bills paid? Most definitely. Are the girls good? Spoiled beyond all recognition. So when I spend my money, it's on what I want to do. You guys will go out here and go to places for statuses.
And John said, because you are so much in a rush that we shortcome life. Blessings to the both of you, both of us.
Yeah.
I wish you both peace. Thank you. I wish you peace as well. Peace and blessings.
That was a nice young man.
Right. We appreciate you here at the dosage. I'm going to have to send him a shirt or something. I like it. Thank you, sir.
He's a gentleman.
He is.
Slide in her DMs later. I think she's single.
I am very much single. I don't know if he's single, but I'm very much single.
Well, don't slide in there if you got somebody. But if you single, slide in her DMs.
That part. And so, yeah, I do. And now that I'm just like thinking about society as a whole, like, people are so obsessed with the outside appearance of relationships that I think it almost taints their perception of their relationships. Like, everything that looks like glitter ain't gold. Everything that looks like is healthy is not. Like, just some things. It's just like that. You remember when they did that Got Milk campaign? They ran that Got Milk campaign for years.
I remember.
They were trying to force everybody to drink milk and all this stuff. Then we find out later that like 85% of the population
Is lactose
is
intolerant.
lactose intolerant. But they were so adamant about, they just had you thinking that it was just what you needed to do to maintain your health. It was the best thing for you. There's no possible way. And I think that's how we look at relationships. Like
And the
people have
craziest-
these buying big gifts, going on these extravagant trips and doing all these things. And you just think that that's what love is supposed to look like.
And I think when you factor in social media, that adds on top of it, because here's somebody you're in competition with who don't even know you're in
Andrew
competition.
said very much single.
Okay. Next season on the dosage.
You see how I looked up at the camera like
Next season on the dosage.
talking about some dating 101. How'd it go?
Right. For the love of Shay.
For the love of Shay. Ooh, I like that. I like that. For the love of Shay.
And that'll be the series. That's the tour.
That'll be the tour.
the tour.
Yeah. Y'all want to sign up, slide my inbox. For the love of Shay.
Her phone finna start dinging like
Ding,
crazy.
ding, ding. I hope so, because this mug is dry. I mean, Sahara Desert dry.
Can I throw a couple people in there?
Listen, I mean, it ain't an intimate moment in this phone, okay? It's not an intimate conversation. This
I
phone
refuse
is
to believe that.
dry.
I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe it's dry like that.
It's very dry. I think it's one person that texts me.
I think they may be over in that other message section, but I refuse to believe.
Nah, I don't even have, like some people go share their screen and they got like 105 unread text messages. I have none.
I hate those people.
Me too. I don't like them.
Like, how do you know that I really wasn't trying to get a hold of you on something important and you just?
So I got a question.
I got an answer.
You got to answer it good, because I got a question.
Might not be the answer you want to hear, but I got an answer.
If you had to choose,
I choose A.
Wow. He didn't even let me finish, y'all. If you had to choose between only intimacy and only sex, what would you choose?
My answer still stands.
A, only intimacy?
A. Okay, let's keep it a buck. When you get older, things stop working anyway. Women lose.
Now for men, Janae Aiko Daddy just had a baby, and he how old?
Look, hold on. Let me finish. Okay. Women can lose their mojos. Men get a little bit out of shape where they can't, do the things that they want to do like they used to. But you want to know why those relationships still work, even though the bedroom is not shaking like it used to? Because the intimacy is there. The intimacy is stronger. The bond is stronger. The fact that she gets up every morning and makes his eggs a certain way, his toast a certain way, and he mixes his juice the way she wants means more to that man than a 3-hour fuck session that may ruin his heart.
So is that in a friendship capacity or relationship capacity?
Both, because here's the thing. You always should be your mate's friend before you're your mate's partner. No, hear me out. Hear me out. When I say be your mate's friend, meaning that you guys have a bond and an understanding where everything isn't about what I get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If me and you, we date, okay, and you're mad at me because I stayed at the studio too late, because we're still friends, you have an understanding and we still get what we need to get done. We don't go to bed mad. We communicate pretty well. We can go out and have a good time. You don't have to be, if I say, hey, there's a podcast event, let's go, babe. You not coming because you my girl. You coming because you know how important it is for you to support me. And you go and have a good time too.
Yeah, I think that depends on the capacity in which you meet your partner that you're dealing with. Like, if I meet you and I solely have the intent on dating you for a relationship, which leads to marriage, because I date for marriage.
Yes, you should.
It's hard to be a friend first because you don't know that person. How I handle my friends is different than how I handle somebody.
Technically, if you're building the bond during the dating phase, in the courting phase, you're building the friendship too. You may not get to best friend level.
Andron said, yes, we lost the authenticity of relationships and friendships, intimacy. You have to have great sex and soul ties. You must be stimulating mentally and intimately.
That's why you don't have soul ties. You have trauma bonds.
No. Sometimes soul ties are soul ties. Like sometimes you have a soul tie and don't even know that you have a soul tie.
Like the one you just got out of.
First of all, don't first of all, don't put me out there like that. Because who said I was in a soul tie?
Oh, you were in one. You just haven't learned to accept the fact that you were.
I ain't never even been in a relationship.
That's the crazy part. You don't have to be in a relationship to have a soul tie.
I
baby.
said
You know that. You know that. You do not have to be in a relationship to have a soul tie.
I ain't like that. Shout out to homeboy. He taught me a lot last relationship. Shout out to him. Kudos to you. I'm at that place now. I tip my head off to you because you made shit a lot harder for new niggas. In a good way.
It should be. Every relationship should be a stepping stone that makes the next relationship better than the last.
I stayed single for substantially a long time.
You did. I've been here for most of that.
Yeah, I've been technically single for a year.
Mm-hmm. I've been around for the whole year.
For the whole year. Because I was single when we met, and then I was in a relationship.
You stopped talking to me.
I didn't stop talking to you.
No, we just both got busy.
Yeah, I was like we just both got busy. I don't cut off my male friends because of relationship because all of my male friends are strictly platonic. Like if I call you my friend, I've never slept with you.
Oh, and here's another thing. We have to bring back platonic friends.
Oh, I have great platonic friends.
No. You once again, you know how you call yourself a unicorn?
I'm a unicorn.
You're a rarity. But we do have to bring back the fact that men and women can be friends without ever having to cross that line.
Yeah. Some of my friends, if they ever attempted, I'll probably be looking at them like, what?
But I think the reason why I bring that up is I think because a lot of times new relationships get threatened by that because they don't understand that that's exactly what it is. Like I've literally seen girls who refuse to date guys because they have a bond, a really tight bond. And sometimes he communicates with his friend about a lot of stuff that you haven't been privy to learn about yet. So they don't want to be in that relationship. Mm-hmm. Or there's guys who just want the girl to completely cut off her male friend because he's a male friend. And I feel like that's not right.
Yeah,
especially if y'all got history. And I'm not talking about a relationship history.
Yeah, my ex.
Y'all got
now,
history.
Everybody know. If y'all know me, y'all know that Dre, Boxhead, Dre Howard, that's one of my closest friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I call him my sister. That's my Brister, for sure. That's my Brister. I mean, Dre we ain't never even thought from the day we met.
Right.
Before we became as close as we were, we ain't never even, you know what I'm saying? Like, thought about it. Like, cause that's my people. Like, I ain't never, so like my last relationship, he was like, y'all got like a brother-sister relationship. Like, I wouldn't even thank you. And I'm just happy that you understand that.
Right.
Because one thing I'm not gonna do is stop being friends with somebody who's a genuinely good friend to me because of a relationship. I wouldn't break up the relationship, but I wouldn't break up the friendship either. If that makes sense.
It makes perfectly good sense.
Like we would just be at odds when I hung out with him, and I come back like, baby, listen, you got to understand that I am not on that. If you don't trust me, you don't trust me. Now that's a different story, but no.
But he was able to be around you and see that you and Dre are.
And you know what's crazy? Dre never met him.
You didn't?
Dre never met him. He never met Dre.
Interesting.
Yeah. Never. It's wild, but they never met. And even with them never met, I think he heard his name so much and he knew the extent of our relationship so much. And I'm honest. Like, I'm gonna tell you
how you explain.
Yeah, like I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, this is my friend. If I call somebody my friend, if I say this is my friend, we have never slept together.
Great job on that.
Yeah, like for what? For why? We ain't friends no more. Now we friends with benefits. And that's not the same.
And I think that's what
because my benefits is better than EBT and healthcare provided by your job.
While we're here, Black people, please get your own healthcare and insurance and don't rely on your job.
Why? I like my job insurance.
Your job insurance may actually be good.
Yeah, I got United Healthcare.
Not every job insurance is good.
I got United Healthcare, and I have no complaints. I love my benefits. Okay. Get life insurance though, everybody. Get life insurance.
Definitely get your own.
Because sometimes being sexual and not intimate, get y'all some things that ain't curable.
That and the fact that I'm tired of logging into my Facebook page and there's a GoFundMe. I'm tired of it. Just do right by yourself.
Do right by yourself. Love you. Be intimate with yourself. And I'm not talking about masturbation, good people.
Just get,
Good people.
just get insurance.
Just
Your
get-
own insurance.
Your
'Cause
own,
'cause
in
I-
your name. Don't
'cause
go and use nobody else's name.
Right, I understand most of y'all are trying to dodge child support, but get your own
Wow.
insurance.
So, okay. You have kids.
Yes, I do.
Do you prefer a person with kids or without kids?
You
Is
know-
it harder to be intimate with somebody with kids?
Okay. At this age and this stage in my life, not really. But when I was younger, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was about 21, 22 years old, I dated a woman who had kids. Whatever happened between her and her baby daddy, her son
Ruined her.
so her son became her whole focus. You might as well say that was her boyfriend. So it was a struggle because everything revolved around her son, her son, her son, her son. And I totally felt that because you engulf yourself so much in your son and holding on to whatever the memory of your baby
Andron,
daddy was,
elaborate.
we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
You honestly did not allow room for someone to come in. So that one became a problem. But it was another young lady I dated. She has a girl, and it was easier to work. It was easier to work within the realms of her because I understood her concern when it came to the safety of her daughter and what she seen and didn't see.
Mhm.
Because mama don't want to be seen as a chick who got dudes coming in and out a household.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
I have never in the history of my life seen my mama date anybody else other than my dad. They got back together when I was like 13, but I have never seen my mama go on a date. I've never seen a man pick my mama up from the house. I ain't never seen, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember a man calling the house for my mama. I don't
Because
remember.
mama probably put rules and restrictions on how this is going to work.
I don't think she dated. I'm
Yep.
not gonna hold you.
Mama was getting cracked like a taco, and you
That's
just didn't know.
that's nasty. That's nasty. You're
She-
disrespectful.
She just didn't want you to
You're
know.
disrespectful.
Don't give
You know, to this day, I asked her. I said, "Did you date anybody else?" She'd be like, "That's my business."
See, right there, mama got cracked like a taco.
That's nasty.
I didn't say it wasn't, but okra is nasty too, and yet people love it.
Okra is not nasty.
See, getting back to the point.
I've been drinking
here.
this wine too fast.
You have.
You see
been.
how much is in there?
That's why I looked at you. It's like,
I had to slide the wine over y'all because it got good to me.
But
It got-
when I ended up
it
dating her,
got
because
good
she
to
set
me.
boundaries in regards to how she wanted to establish the relationship, it was easier to maneuver into that one.
Mm.
The only reason why me and her didn't work out was, once again, I was young, so I didn't have the basic necessities to be a responsible individual. And I commend her. She actually told me, it's like, look, I can't date you, Tone, because I can't rely on you. You ain't got no car.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah.
one time.
And then I was mad at her. I was like,
She said, "Get your cookies together, sir.
Right.
You ain't got no car."
hey, I was mad when she said
She
it.
said,
Like,
"You ashy.
I
You
wasn't
dusty.
ashy. Definitely
Your
wasn't ashy.
hairline is uneven, and
That's
you
a
ain't
lie.
all that cute."
Okay, so the rest of that she made up. I don't know where none of that came from.
You don't know Beyond Scared
I
Straight
know.
with a
Oh, that was a lie. But as the time went on, I commend her for saying that, because it did make me stop. Look at it's like, wait a minute, you're right. If we got serious, I couldn't pick your baby girl up from school if you stuck.
But I don't even think that's just a kid situation. I think I'm at the point now where I want a ready-made person.
And what do you define ready made?
I don't want to teach you anything. So we were having now, I mean, in no regards. The only thing I want to teach you about is how to love me properly. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe how we can work out our problems in our relationship. I don't want to teach you nothing else. Like I'm not trying to teach nobody how to hustle. I'm not trying to teach nobody how to do nothing. Like life is already stressful enough. And like I understand that I'm blessed and I don't have nearly as much stress as other people do, but I work really hard to keep that. And what I'm not going to do is deal with somebody who's adding stress to my life.
What I'm not gonna do is deal with your musties.
But you get what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna do that.
I feel
So even when it comes to sex, like we were talking about this earlier, we were talking about intimacy and sex, and I was like, I'm not teaching a man how to kiss. Why? I just don't want to.
what if they've never been in an
I
relationship?
don't want to. I'm gonna have to love you and love your dirty draws in order for me to teach you how to kiss. I don't want to.
But then
I'm
you
not teaching nobody how to give no head. I'm not teaching nobody how to
but
have
what if
sex.
but what
If
if
it
they
ain't ready when it get to me, it ain't for me.
but
The Lord know my heart.
you just said it not even minutes ago. The only thing I want to do is teach this man how to love me right. That is
No, no,
part.
no. Loving me and having sex with me are two
It's
separate
easy
things.
because you're
It's two
beautiful.
separate things. Loving me means I'm going to tell you
Do.
my love language and I want to understand your love language. And I want us both to take an active approach in displaying each other's love language to each other because I want you to be fully aware about how I feel for you. That's different than your mama hurt you, you got mommy issues, and I gotta build you back up to love you. No, I don't want you to come to me broken. I'm tired of being Jane the fixer upper.
Well, do you know most men do not have those
Who?
hold on, wait a minute. Most men do not know about those outlets to be able to recover from some of those broken situations.
And you might not be for me. I wish you. And my thing is, I'm not even saying that I won't help you. I'm saying I won't date you while helping you.
So y'all just gonna be friends?
We're gonna be friends. I hope you get all the help you get. I just don't have the mental capacity to help myself get over my trauma and yours. You know what I'm saying? Like
And how old are you
I know
now?
for a fact, I am almost 30.
Okay.
I know for a fact that I have things probably emotionally, probably how I feel about things, like how I approach things that I've learned that I probably need to handle better. And I'm working on that. I'm working on me. So bear with me. Okay. You work on you and I'm gonna work on me. What I don't need for you to feel like you need to save me, because you don't. And I don't want to feel like I need to save you because I won't.
Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. Don't.
But you get what I'm saying?
I hear
I
you.
don't want to be, I'm tired of being Superwoman. I'm Superwoman in a lot of capacity.
I'm not
And I'm
just
just tired of being it. I don't want to be Superwoman in a relationship that I'm choosing to be in.
I'm highly
I'm
upset.
already,
I'm highly upset there's a song for everything.
it's a song for everything. It's a song for everything. I just don't want to be that. And if your lack of intimacy comes from a mama who didn't love you properly and you trauma and you need to go see therapy, I'm going to help you find the best therapist while I'm dating.
Get a black therapist.
I root for black therapists just because it's a cultural difference. I'm looking for one right now if you know a good one.
Mm,
Um
I'll get back to you on that one. No, because I'll get back
I
to
know.
you.
I'm sure you know a few. I'm sure you know
I
a
keep
few.
some on like the main one I always recommend. I think she just moved to Texas, but it's a virtual world. You may not need an in person one.
Right. But y'all, I told y'all I was gonna keep y'all here for a long time. Just a good time. We creeping up on an hour.
That is actually short compared to this show.
It's actually short compared to this show. And I just want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I wish y'all the best. Happy New Year. I'm going to speak a little words of encouragement over you all. I pray success over all of your endeavors. I pray understanding over all of your confusion. I pray that whatever you put your mind to, your hands on, your heart into, works out for the best interest of yourself and for those around you, because sometimes we put and invest in things that's not just for us, it's for the betterment of our people around us and our loved ones. And I just hope it all goes the best for each and every one of you. May your 2023 be the best yet. Okay, I love y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease, my good people. Bye.